know it sounds crazy, but I nominate Ronna McDaniel for the Nobel Peace Prize. Here's why. On March 22nd, it was announced that Ronna McDaniel would be a contributor on NBC News. Everybody on air at NBC and MSNBC threw an absolute shit fit, and it worked. She got canned 5 days later. Then her agency dropped her, and then both Donald Trump and Rachel Maddow rejoiced in her misfortune. Don't you see? She got the ultra-liberals and the head of MAGA to agree on something. And that something is that she sucks. Can you imagine what she could do if she cozied up to both Putin and Zelensky? They'd be high-fiving each other over how shitty she is in no time. Guys, there's a lot of strife in the world right now, but I think hating on Ronna McDaniel is our chance to unite and build the peaceful utopia that we all so desperately yearn for. Let's let Ronna go to work, just not at NBC. The Baltimore bridge tragedy has brought out a raft of right-wing conspiracy theories, and some are blaming diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, or DEI. See, what happened was the captain of the boat was so busy talking to his sailors about DEI initiatives that he just ran right into that bridge. If he'd been a little less woke, that boat would be in the middle of the ocean right now. That's how boats work. You can't talk about treating black people fairly on a boat unless you want it to sink. Everyone knows that. Donald Trump has once again been spared the inconvenience of due process. An appeals court knocked a quick $275 million off of his bond. While the court offered no explanation for this generous new precedent, I'm sure New Yorkers are grateful to know that they too will now benefit from similar treatment, should they ever find themselves needing to post a bond with the court. I assume the new standard for all citizens will simply be up to the first $275 million of any bond amount will be gratis. Hey buddy, no worries, happy to help. Now get out of here, you rascal. Now Trump does still owe a $175 million bond, but he has a few options to get the money. For instance, Trump is now selling Bibles that also contain the Constitution. Reach for comment, the citrus-hued autocrat said he wanted the two things he ignores the most in one convenient place. But that place is not in his bathroom. That's only for things he might actually read. Another option is to get the money out of Truth Social, which went public this week. It was listed on the NASDAQ instead of the New York Stock Exchange, and Trump said he chose the NASDAQ because business people are, quote, treated too badly in New York. So to avoid the tyranny of New York, Trump didn't list his stock here, but instead moved it all the way over to here, where, everything is exactly the same. That's still in New York. That's still in Manhattan even. Well, I guess he showed them? But one more way he can get the money together is by being good at golf. Donald Trump won both club championships at his own golf course. How does he do it? Well, if you want to be as good as he is, you just need 2 easy steps. Step 1, buy a golf course.
He goes, you know what I do to win these championships, don't you? And I'm like, please, tell me, give it to me. And he goes, anytime I buy a new course, I play the first round by myself, and then I declare myself the club champion. And so that's what kind of guy this is. He's never won a championship. He says he has 23 or something. He's never won a championship at a course he doesn't own and operate.
Step 2, learn how to bend reality to your will.
One time in LA, he was playing $50 a hole with these 3 guys. He hits it in the pond. They see the splash. By the time they get there, it's in the middle of the fairway. And they're like, what the F, Donald? And he goes, it must have been the tide.
So you see, anyone can be good at golf, as long as no one is close enough to watch you play it. RFK Jr. picked Nicole Shanahan as his running mate. But is she crazy enough to hang with him? Let's see here. She called IVF one of the biggest lies that's being told about women's health. She thinks that women over 50 can have babies from sunlight. Yeah, she's going to fit in real nice on this ticket. The Biden administration is announcing $6 billion to slash industrial emissions and a massive expansion of the military budget, which previously ran, as we all know, on sunshine and dreams. A Democrat won a resounding victory in Alabama by advocating for IVF and abortion protections. Abortion? A winning strategy for an Alabama Democrat? Is that right? I thought everyone across the South was too Christian to vote women into positions of power. Do we have more in common than we thought? Well, shut my mouth and paint me red. I mean, stomp on frogs and shove a crowbar up my nose. Am I doing this right? Easter is just around the corner, but there's a big question on everyone's mind, and our own Chef Austin is here to clear things up.
Hi, I'm Chef Austin. You know, we've received thousands of letters, postcards, and summonses this last week, all asking the same question. What is the proper way to eat a Choco Easter bunny? Now, it's not the ears first. That's cruel, right? And neither is it the face, you Hannibal Lecter psycho. Now, the legs? Nope, that's straight out of Misery. You don't want to do that. Ass first is only considered correct in Germany. Now, after much study, I can definitively say that the only acceptable and proper way to eat a Choco Easter bunny is spine first, in one bite, straight through. Now, don't worry if he still kicks a little bit. That's just those little chocolate nerves firing. No, she's not in any pain. Enjoy.
After admitting to a few loose screws himself, Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun has stepped down following weeks of trouble for the plane manufacturer. Asked what's next for the airline tycoon, Calhoun replied, "Don't worry, I have a golden parachute, which is coincidentally what you'll need on a Boeing." Sean Puffy Puff Daddy P. Diddy Combs had his properties raided due to sexual abuse allegations. Diddy allegedly lured victims by saying he had, quote, access to Prince Harry. And honestly, I get it. If I wanted to have sex with royalty, who would be my first stop? Sean Puffy Combs, that's who. Want to give a shout out to my friends in Cambodia? We're gonna dance in the street, yeah! Wait, what? The new prime minister said that Cambodians can't use musical horns to dance in the street anymore? Well then, that sucks. Apparently the prime minister has too much 84 John Lithgow in him. Want to climb Mount Everest? Well, if you plan on pooping up there, you're gonna have to do it in a bag, and then you're gonna have to bring that bag back down with you, according to the new rules. The good news is that now you don't have to buy any souvenirs at the gift shop. And finally tonight, parrot owners are keeping their birds occupied with mobile games specifically designed for them. In related news, bird trainers are noting a steep decline in bird literacy. That wraps up this week's episode. If you want to keep up with us, give us the old like and subscribe treatment, and we'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.